Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources.
New York Times World News. August 21, 1733 America, New York. Desperation as Afghans seek to flee a country retaken by the Taliban. A surging crowd trampled a toddler to death near the airport, and many residents who aided America remain in hiding, fearing they will be killed by their new rulers. A standstill near the Kabul airport on Saturday. RT World News. August 21, 1722 America, New York. Israeli airstrikes and heavy blasts reported in Gaza after border clashes with IDF troops. Videos. Multiple blasts have rocked the Gaza Strip after the IDF reportedly launched a series of airstrikes in apparent retaliation to border clashes, in which an Israeli soldier was critically wounded earlier in the day.
Mirror World News. August 21, 1712 America, New York. Son of rebel Afghan warlord educated in UK, kills 100 Taliban, in uprising. Ahmad Massoud, the son of the Lion of Panjshir, has been backed by Afghanistan's top spy and ousted Vice President Amrullah Saleh, who has a network of spies inside Kabul.
World CBS News, com. August 21, 1658 America, New York. Afghanistan evacuations continue amid airport chaos, security threat. U.S. evacuation efforts continue in Afghanistan despite a security threat and an influx of people arriving at the Kabul airport in an attempt to flee the Taliban.
Wall Street Journal World News. August 21, 1618 America, New York. U.S. considers ordering commercial airlines to help in Afghan evacuation. The Biden administration is making preparations to invoke an emergency civil aviation program, while adding to the number of U.S. bases that can house Afghan evacuees.
Fox World News. August 21, 1615 America, New York. Greece extends border wall amid European fears of Afghan migrant wave. Greece announced on Friday that it has extended its border wall with Turkey as part of its efforts to stop migrants coming up from Afghanistan, amid European fears of an Afghan migrant wave sparked by the Taliban takeover.
New York Times World News. August 21, 1613 America, New York. Situation at Kabul's airport worsens as diplomats warn of threats. Some Americans made it through the chaos at the airport despite warnings by the U.S. State Department to wait for orders to evacuate. A crowd at the Kabul airport on Saturday. RT World News. August 21, 1554 America, New York. No monkey business allowed. Woman having affair with chimpanzee banned from visiting it at Belgian zoo. A Belgian woman has ended up banned from visiting a chimpanzee at Antwerp Zoo after the keepers deemed the two were spending way too much time together. The woman claimed she was having an affair with the animal.
Mirror World News. August 21, 1525 America, New York. Taliban fighters filmed with seized U.S. weapons amid fears group has attacked aircraft. Potentially lethal spoils made in America and left in Afghanistan include M4 rifles which were proudly grasped by fighters marching through the street in one clip posted online.
New York Times World News. August 21, 1525 America, New York. Ivermectin should not be used to treat COVID, FDA says. You are not a horse, the Food and Drug Administration said. Stop it. A health worker showing a box containing a bottle of ivermectin in Cali, Colombia, last year.
Mirror World News. August 21, 1512 America, New York. Woman at risk of being killed by Taliban could starve to death hiding in apartment. Martzia Husseini now cannot leave her home to buy food and is living in fear of being killed by the Taliban who refuse to let her walk the streets without a man.
RT World News. August 21, 1450 America, New York. Impossible to evacuate Afghan allies by end of August. EU Foreign Policy Chief says Americans create problems. The EU's top diplomat has declared it impossible for Europe to evacuate all of its Afghan allies from Kabul by the end of August. Josep Borrell blamed American troops at the city's airport for preventing evacuees from leaving.
PowerPost. August 21, 1434 America, New York. The era of perpetual presidential impeachment is here. 6 months after the last impeachment wrapped, Republicans have begun calling for Biden to be removed from office over Afghanistan.
New York Times World News. August 21, 1419 America, New York. A Guide to COVID Vaccine Booster Shots. Here's what we know about booster shots. Why Americans may need them and when they should get them. A doctor drawing up doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine at a pop-up vaccine clinic in New Mexico.
ABC News International. August 21. 1412 America, New York. Vatican punishes Polish Archbishop for sex abuse negligence. Catholic Church authorities in Poland say the Vatican is punishing a retired Polish archbishop for his alleged negligent response to cases of sexual abuse of minors by clergymen under his authority.
Mirror World News. August 21. 1401 America, New York. UK faces direct threat, and terror level should be raised to severe, says Colonel. The fall of Afghanistan has inspired jihadis, says Colonel Richard Kemp, as he warns of a direct threat to our country, which should see the government increase counter-terrorist assets. BBC News World. August 21. 1357 America, New York. Hurricane Henri. U.S. East Coast warned of significant damage. This could be the first time in 30 years that New England is hit by a hurricane.
New York Times World News. August 21. 1350 America, New York. Former Pence aides say Trump, Miller stymied Afghan refugee efforts. Olivia Troy recalled sitting in meetings where Stephen Miller, Mr. Trump's top immigration advisor, demanded restrictions on refugees, including those from Afghanistan and Iraq. Stephen Miller at the White House last July.
Time. August 21. 1344 America, New York. French COVID-19 health pass in full use but protests continue. Paris. Thousands marched Saturday in cities across France to protest the COVID-19 health pass that is now required to access restaurants and cafes, cultural venues, sports arenas and long-distance travel.
New York Times World News. August 21. 1333 America, New York. Resistance fighters drive Taliban from 3 districts in the mountains north of Kabul. The Taliban faced the first armed challenge from former Afghan soldiers and villagers. Young men who were beaten by members of the Taliban for trying to raise an Afghan national flag in Kabul on Thursday.
ABC News International. August 21. 1316 America, New York. 2 LGBT marches held in Poland under heavy police security. There has been violence by far-right groups against equality parades in Poland.